And now it's time for the second and final installment of Hispanic is Not a Race, a series in which News Center 25 Carolina Astrain explores what the Hispanic experience is like in the Crossroads and how it could improve.
Although Victoria has a higher percentage of Hispanics in the state on average, many Hispanics in Victoria do not speak Spanish. It was illegal to speak Spanish in public spaces in the state of Texas until 1971. I spoke with Crossroads residents and asked them about their ethnic identity and how it has informed their experience in the Crossroads.
Well, I know I was fortunate to learn Spanish, but I guess in my generation, transferring that over to my daughter wasn't as important, and I didn't emphasize it. It's just one of those things that we're letting slip by and not passing it on to future generations.
Well, as a Hispanic, Hispanic is the heartbeat of the Crossroads. We're over 50% Hispanic in the Crossroads, and I think that I'm Hispanic in the community. Doing what I do, I'm able to be vocal about the Hispanic heritage and the Mexican traditions, and be a voice on the country station. That's awesome.
I believe it's an actually take it to advantage, as it certainly incorporated like the activities that have been around, like for example celebrating Dia de los Muertos, a lot of Hispanic heritage events that go around the Crossroads. Victoria, of course, has a lot of Hispanic roots, and I think it's important to celebrate them. And I'm just glad to be part of all of that, and then it's actually celebrating a community like this.
So I really don't go out into the community and like event wise. We really have a tendency of just like staying in our dorms or like going out to events that like we actually connect with. So like the Dia de los Muertos event, for example, that just happened last weekend or a couple weekends ago, I was really eager to go out and see like, oh my God, they're actually doing something like this in Victoria, and just like seeing what was going on and like just being part of that atmosphere made me feel like I belonged in that sense for that time being.
Here actually it feels more comfortable because like there's more, like I know a lot of people who say I understand Spanish, I don't speak it, but where I'm from that's not common. Like they speak it and you're looked down upon for it, but here it's like comfortable.
And I also asked, what are some solutions? What are some ways that the Hispanic experience in the Crossroads can improve?
I think the first step has been taken as far as acknowledging those events, the heritage that people have, and being that the roots are in Hispanic, being that it's Hispanic roots, I think it's important for people to continue to celebrate as such and continue to expand it, bring more people into the culture, and let them know what it's all about and what the tradition is and the very different ways of celebrating.
Well, I think we're seeing it. You see in our elected officials, you see more Mexican Americans on city council, commissions, and state judge, first Hispanic woman mayor pro tem.
I guess maybe inviting the student population out more to events or like spreading the word like here on campus. I feel like we really don't have that bridge that well with the community. Yes, we do big events like Haunted Hall, for example. We invite our community members out and everything like that, but I just feel like they're not here to cater to what the students want, and the students aren't interested in what Victoria is offering. So maybe if they do like a census or something like based on the student population, or like have a town hall meeting and be like, what do y'all want to see out of the city of Victoria? Because Victoria is a growing city and UHV is a growing university. And the way you could connect the two is you have to grow with it.
We're deep rooted here in the Crossroads with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and all the events that we do for the Hispanics and the Spanish speaking population. So I love how Victoria represents and does cater to the Hispanics. I really do. We have a lot of festivals that have to do with the Hispanic music. We have, of course, from Cinco de Mayo. I'm happy with where I live and how the Crossroads cater to the Hispanics, because we're predominantly Hispanic, Mexican, however you identify. I think the Crossroads are a great place for us to shine.
And as we approach the next census data collection, it's important to remember that you can self-identify as whatever you choose. Whether it's Hispanic, Mexican American, or Latinx, the choice is up to you. In Victoria, I'm Carolina Astrain for your Hometown News.
And Victoria is definitely growing. Now, I want to ask you kind of like a little personal question. Why do you feel this topic is still so controversial?
Well, it is kind of interesting that we have such a large Hispanic population here in Victoria, larger than the state, and many of them identify as white or other. So I just think it's kind of interesting to look at how people are actually filling out the census and how they see themselves.
And what was the biggest takeaway from this for you?
Well, it seems like a lot of the older, probably like baby boomer, Generation X Hispanics in our community are comfortable and happy with, you know, the representation we have. And there just seems to be a disconnect between the student population and the community. So that's kind of what I took out from that, from this experience.
Thank you so much, Carolina. I enjoyed your perspective on that. Thank you so much.